All right, let's get to it. The bye week couldn't have gone any better for the Eagles.
Nope.
It's unbelievable, Baldy. Green Bay loses and loses Tucker Kraft. The Lions lose at home. The the division is an utter mess. Washington's dead. Lose Jaden Daniels. The season's over. The Cowboys lose at home. And then their answer is Logan Wilson from the Bengals. The whole thing, Jerry's getting mocked nationally. The Eagles go get Jaelan Phillips, who now can be their 1/2 with Nolan Smith when he gets back. I mean, can it get any better for the Birds?
No. I mean, they need Jaelan. Jaelan's a great dude, man. He's a great guy. He's been beset by major injuries. Remember Black Friday 2 years ago against the Jets? He tore his Achilles. He was having a great season. I got to know the kid a little bit. I mean, first of all, he looks like Tarzan, man. Like he
6'5".
He's an impressive looking athlete. He's a great guy. He's got great movement. He's overcome these injuries. He's playing okay right now. It's not. I don't think he's back where he was before. Back-to-back years of major injuries. But I mean, he's 6'5". He's 265. He's long. He plays the game the right way. He'll practice hard. They're just loading up for what's coming at him because they're really building the team for the postseason. It shouldn't be a problem getting there. So it's a question of right now, getting as many good football players on the field as you can every Sunday.
Yeah, and look, you attack the secondary issue with numbers, right? Like you're still hopeful Ja'Cory Bennett can come back and kind of take that spot, but you got some optionality, right?
They picked up Jair. Jair was awful in Baltimore. He played 62 plays the first two games. He wasn't very good, but he's got look. He's had injury issues, plenty. Baltimore took a chance on him. It didn't work out. They replaced him. Maybe he just needs a different home. Who knows? But the resume is a good resume. He's a good man-to-man player. He's aggressive. He takes chances. It's worth the gamble out there right now with the problems they've had.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I mean, and here's the thing you have optionality back there now, right? You can match up. I mean, obviously everything's going to be matchups. You have Cooper that you could do different things with. You can go big nickel, right? Because you added from the Jets, Michael Carter. So you got Carter there. You got a lot of ways you can go. And by the way, now that you have, you got Campbell now kind of freed up, you got with him and Dean. I love kind of their depth where it looks like.
Well, give Vic the options you're talking about. He'll figure it out, because they're going to be specifically game planning, game to game, and so if they need more pass rush, they want more blitzes, whatever they want, they have options because I still think Cooper DeJean could easily go outside and be a star corner, not just a good corner, a star corner. He's better inside just because of how physical he is. And, you got to be able to play the run inside, and he's good at that. So, I mean, he's got plenty of options right now. If you want to get N'Kobe and Campbell and Bond on the field together, they've proven that they do that. If they got a team that's running the ball, they're going to go to a 6-man front, and a one linebacker. I mean, they've got, the thing is there's some teams, just take Carolina. There's Carolina can only play a certain way to win. They've got to really control it on the ground. They can't give the quarterback too much to do. They can't come from behind. But in a certain way, they can get to 5 wins. A lot of teams are built like that. The Eagles want to be built where they can beat you any way they have to be able to beat you. If it's bad weather and you got to run it, let's do it. Let's put our snow treads on and let's go play. If you get into a track meet and you got to, you're down 26-7 of the Rams in the second half. All right, let's open it up and throw it. I feel like they're built right now to be able to attack any way that they have to attack.
Yeah, I'm with you. All right, let's kind of size up kind of what we're looking at in the NFC. Let's start with Green Bay because Eagles play Green Bay Monday night. They're a weird team. Injury aside to Kraft, they have these moments where they just are sleepy and they play down to their competition.
Well, losing Tucker Kraft is a big deal. I mean,
In the
first
run
of
game
all,
too. Yeah.
well, I mean, he's a good blocker, but he is a dependable target and a guy that Jordan Love loved to go to. He was their leading receiver. He had almost 500 yards of receiving. He's excellent after the catch. I mean, he's just a big time player. So that's a huge loss. Now they're going to get, Matthew Campbell hasn't done much yet. He was the number one. I mean, I know guys that had him as the number one wide receiver by a wide margin in this
Golden.
last
Yeah.
draft.
Matt, yeah.
Matthew Campbell out of Texas. So,
Golden. Yeah.
but they've lost to Cleveland at home. They scored 10 points. They just lost to Carolina at home, who had just come off a horrible defeat. So you think Lambeau Field, home field advantage, all that stuff. I mean, they've played two of the worst games. Their two losses are at home, to teams that you don't think much of as far as having firepower on offense, and they got beat by them. So, I mean, they're a long ways away from being a team that you can count on and depend on of how they're going to play.
Why? That's fascinating to me because I love the coach. I think they're well coached, but to see a team that plays up and down the way they do, I'm shocked by their coach.
Well, I mean, they do. They are very. I mean, Cleveland had the number one defensive football when they played them, and they look like the number one defensive football. Flacco made one or two plays. That was it. And last week, Carolina's defensive front, which people don't know anything about, but they were dominant. Derek Brown is the best defensive tackle in football. He was dominant. He's just throwing bodies around. And so, they're down to some depth on the offensive line. And so they've lost a couple of guys, but that's never an excuse. They got most of their guys in there they won. Losing Kraft, though, I can't. Like, they're a big two tight end team that's got this guy Fitzpatrick now, 86. With Musgrave, they'll be the two tight ends. Both of them are pretty good blockers. Not like Kraft, but they're pretty good. Jordan Love is, Josh Jacobs is still a quality back. The Eagles have had problems with him in the two games they played against him last year. But, I mean, the Eagles are physically a much better football team.
And then Detroit, who will get the following Sunday night. They lose at home to the Vikings.
Minnesota.
And, I was shocked because Gibbs reminds me of Smith and Jigba every week, just pencil him in for 100 plus. And Gibbs, all purpose, same thing. Pencil him in for 100 plus. Not against the Vikings. They shut him down.
They played their best defensive game, and they had to. And then J.J. McCarthy gave him a lift. He didn't do a lot, but he made some throws. You want to go jawing with Justin Jefferson on the field like a Meek Robertson was, like he's just going to torch you. It's just stupid. But that's what they did. They've got to. I mean, the last game I saw them really studied them. Against Tampa, and they beat Tampa at home. They had two starting safeties that had never played a game in the NFL, and they played great. And then all their corners, including Amik Robertson, is a backup player. Like, they have been beat up in the secondary all year, and it caught up to them against Minnesota.
Yeah. It's amazing. I didn't expect that one. It was a weird weekend. And then, again, Seattle goes into Washington Sunday Night Football and just obliterates them.
Well, if people aren't paying attention to Seattle, they're just not paying attention because they play a brand of football that shows up every week. Sam Darnold is off the charts good, but defensively, good luck trying to move the ball against Big Cat Williams and Jerron Reed and Byron Murphy. Like, that front is nasty, just nasty. And they just physically whipped the Commanders. Obviously we feel terrible about Jaden Daniels. But, I mean, offensively, this Torrey Horton, all he does is score touchdowns. He's a rookie. Like, there's a reason.
I love Horton. I love Horton come out of college. You and I talked about him.
Well, he had a knee injury, and but he dropped to the fifth round. I mean, the guy can block. He's 6'3". He can run. He's a perfect complement. I mean, they're playing without Cooper Kupp. I mean, and this A.J. Barner is a really good tight end.
How about Arroyo? Another guy that we talked about flat out Miami.
I mean, but he could never stay healthy at Miami. But I saw him at the pro day. He's 6'5", he's 250, and he can run, really run. So they've got so many. It's honestly watching their offense. It's a symphony. It's a really well balanced symphony of play action, stretch runs, down the field shots. Um, and Sam is the perfect architect, the maestro to lead the symphony right now.
Yeah, yeah. Do you, how do you reconcile the meltdown in the two big games last year, right? They play Detroit for the division, it's ugly, and then in the playoff game, it's ugly against the
Well,
Rams.
yeah, I mean, look, the Rams had 9 sacks. They hit Sam 15 times in that game. I mean, they had all backup offensive linemen in there. That's the reason why they went out and drafted Donovan Jackson, signed Will Fries, Ryan Kelly. I mean, they had to upgrade the offensive line. They got their Pro Bowl left tackle back who was hurt the second half of the season. And everybody wants to blame Sam, which is fine. He made some mistakes, but honestly, they couldn't hold up in protection and they couldn't run the ball. I mean, so they got rid of all those backups. They've rebuilt their offensive line. The only guy returning is the right tackle right now. And so, they played good. I mean, Aaron Jones had a good game on Sunday, and the backup Jordan Mason played well. And they didn't. It wasn't. It's a tough place to play. I mean, you're not going to hear a single snap count up there. And they battled pretty tough up there. And defensively, they finally woke up. They're going to get healthier. Andrew Van Ginkel is a big difference maker in that defense. And so they got Blake Cashman back. He had 16 tackles. There's a team like you can't count any of these teams out. What Chicago's doing, what Minnesota can do, if the quarterback is right, healthy, and improves, you can't count any of those teams out. And we haven't talked about the Rams. San Francisco is the most. It's the best coaching job Kyle Shanahan's ever done.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean what they've done, tremendous. Let's talk about the hapless team in Texas. So yesterday, Jerry's grandstanding.
Explain what Stephen A is doing next to Jerry in the box. Explain that to me, cuz.
They're two. They're strange bedfellows, baby.
Is Jerry just looking for a friend?
Yes.
I mean, what is that?
Yeah, Stephen A had him on the show early and on his Sirius.
All right.
And now, Stephen A's brilliant. He just cozies right up to him, and here you go.
Well, they're a mess. I mean, they've really fallen apart defense. And they had a play in the game. Actually, Troy was right on top of it last night. But it was a 4th and 3 play. It's a 27-10 game. It's the fourth quarter. The corner, Denzel Burke of Arizona, is 10 yards off of CeeDee Lamb. You can throw any route you want, a comeback, a stop, a speed out, anything you want. You got the cushion to literally, they're giving it to you. They're up 17 in the fourth quarter. All they want is to make sure it doesn't go over their head. And CD runs this, 15-yard, stop route. And, Dak is waiting on him. He's waiting on him, and he's not looking at anybody else. But the route doesn't make any sense for the play. None. And I saw that. I posted it today. I'm like sometimes you just take what the defense gives you. You get the first down, then you go attack, and you get the touchdown. And you get Arizona thinking like we could be in for another collapse, and they never allowed that to happen last night. And, to see that offense sputter like they did. Now, Arizona, they got this Walter Nolan in there now. They are I don't think anybody wants to see Arizona the second half of the season. They've had 4 straight collapses with the lead. Jacoby Brissett is 5 times better than Kyler Murray.
I was about to say that. Look at Marvin. Now Marvin's been reborn under Brissett.
Best game he's played. The best game he's played all year, by far. They got him involved from the very beginning. He went after those sorry corners of Dallas. Deron Bland is on his Bland on a 4-yard touchdown run. I mean, Marvin just gives him a little shake, and he was literally fell and tripped. I mean, he destroyed every corner. The best player on Dallas, honestly, is Jadeveon Clowney. That guy was all over the place. If they had kept Micah Parsons and they picked up Clowney, they might actually have a rush, and a defense. But they're so bad at linebacker, at corner right now. They're playing these kids on safety from the practice squad. I mean, they're just not a good football team.